Today I'm going to show you how to set up the VelocityOne Race Wheel on your desk for PC. First, we're going to start by putting the entire unit together. As you open the box, you'll notice the quick setup guide, which you should keep to one side as it's a good reference point. The first box contains the wheel and all the wires and screws you'll need. Below that, you'll find the base for the VelocityOne Race and the race management display. And finally, you'll see the pedals at the bottom. First, start by unwrapping the base of the VelocityOne Race and putting it on your desk. On the side of the base unit is a flap. Lift it up and you'll see a compartment with a special Allen key inside. In the same compartment, you'll notice a hexagonal shaped bolt. These are used to loosen and tighten the magnetic flaps at the bottom of the base so it can clamp onto your desk. Grab the biggest key and remember righty-tighty to tighten and lefty-loosey to loosen. Once you've loosened the flap to the desired size to fit your desk, flip it over, lift up the second flap and loosen the second bolt in the second compartment. Now slide the base onto your desk and get it as snugly in there as possible. Next, simply tighten the bolts as much as you can until you can't anymore, and the base will be securely fastened to your desk. Next, take off the plastic on the race management display and the wheel mounts and grab the wheel. The wheel will also have some plastic on the connection point, so take this off as well. On the wheel connection point, you'll notice some indents around the rim. Specifically, you'll see 3 on the top and 5 on the bottom. Line up the side with the 3 indents on top with the middle indent in the center. Grab the wheel and likewise get ready to do the same. Take the wheel in both hands and have it face your chest, then use your fingers to reach around the wheel and grab the quick release latch and pull it towards you. From there, simply attach it to the base, and when you feel it's on firmly, let go of the quick release latch. Check the wheel is on properly by giving it a very light tug towards you. Now grab the pedal unit and flip it over. In the box with all the wires and powers that first came out the box, you'll notice a small cardboard box that contains some anti-slip grip pads and screws. Take the grips out of the box. Depending on the floor you have will determine which pads you need to use. If you have a carpet, use the one with the little bobbly grips on them. If you have a hard floor, use the plain flat grips. Now attach all 4 to the designated areas in the corners of the pedal unit. Lastly will be the control unit in the wheel and wire box too. This slots onto the right side of the wheel. You'll see a small slit on the side which it slides into. Now we need to tighten it into place. In the box that you had your grip pads and a few screws, there'll be 2 identical screws with a flat top specifically designed for this control unit. Take those 2 out, the rest are for mounting the unit to a racing rig frame, so be sure to keep them safe. Where the control unit slid into place, you'll see 2 openings in the front of the base for these to slot in. Grab your special Allen key tool and use the small key to tighten the screws. Now it's time to test your cable management skills. Take all of the cables and wires out of the wheel and wire box. Be sure to only use the power cable that works with your plug sockets. There should be a plug for the UK, US and Europe. The first cable I'm going to grab is the cable that connects the wheelbase to the pedals. Go ahead and plug one end into any of the 2 expansion ports in the back of the wheelbase with the white stripe facing upwards. Plug the other end into the back of the pedals, but you will need to disconnect this in a moment when updating your equipment. Then take the smallest wire and plug it into the control unit port on the back and the other into the wheelbase port next to it. Next up, plug in your PC cable into the wheelbase with the yellow line facing upwards. Then take the DC in end of your power cable and plug it in. Plug in the 3-pin power cable to the power brick, then connect your plug to a power socket and your power brick should light up green. Then finally, plug your PC cable into an available USB slot on your PC. Congratulations, you managed to successfully set up your VelocityOne Race Wheel, but we now need to do a firmware update. Go to the Microsoft Store on your PC and look for the Turtle Beach VelocityOne Race Tuner app and install it. Once installed, open the app and you'll be able to connect your wheel to the PC. You now need to start your engines. Press the big red power engine start button on the control unit. Select your platform as PC using the dials on the wheel, and the race management display should appear and your device will appear under connected devices. Next, click the VelocityOne Race tab on the left, look up at the tabs on the top of the app, then go to the firmware tab at the end. Before you proceed, please watch the video and be sure to read the instructions very carefully. If you don't follow them correctly, you may cause some issues for your unit. You'll be doing 2 updates, one to update the firmware on the system modules and the second one will update the race management display. Press continue and you'll see this screen. Now you need to disconnect your pedals from the wheelbase before you update it. As I said, you will cause issues for your unit if you don't do this. When you've done that, press begin update. If you still haven't disconnected your pedals, here's your last warning. Press confirm and begin update. This should take about 5 minutes. It goes without saying, please do not disconnect your unit at any time during this process. Your wheel should be flashing during this update. Once it's done, your wheel may spin around in a circle, which is normal and acknowledges your update has been done. When the first update is done, you'll return to the main page of the tuner app. Now you need to plug in your pedals to the wheelbase before you start the second update. Press begin update and this one should take about 20 minutes. Again, do not disconnect anything. Once done, your wheel will do a spin to show the update has been done. Now that you've updated your wheel, let's get you race ready. Before you get into a race, it's worth familiarizing yourself with the tuner app and the race management display. There is tons of customization with this unit, so it's good to know where everything is before you do any in-game tinkering. Remember, you have up to 10 profiles to save your preferences to, meaning you can make changes depending on the game you're playing or the person who's using the unit. First up, we recommend calibrating the center point on your wheel. Go to the System tab and press the Calibrate button. Next, you want to engage the telemetry for the game of your choice. Go to the R&D tab in your tuner app, and at the bottom is an extended telemetry output option. Press the Launch Now button. You can see if it's running and access it by going to the icons in the bottom right of your taskbar. Double click the Turtle Beach logo, which will bring up a new screen. Open up your game of choice, and in this example I'm using F123. Be sure to check back on the RMD config window to check if your system is connected and the game is recognized, which is at the top of the window. Please also press the check config button to check the config is correct. When you load into the game, you may need to assign your buttons from the wheel in the game options, so take a moment to do this. Finally, load into a race and start driving around. Check the telemetry on your race management display is working properly. Sometimes it may take a minute to sync up properly. If you're finding it isn't quite working, try restarting your PC and opening the tuner app first, then loading into your game. Take a moment to try all the options for your wheel in-game to get the settings that best suit you and ensure everything is working. And that's it, you're ready to race, and we hope you enjoy the VelocityOne race. Remember, if at any point you're not happy with something and you're finding some issues occurring, you can do a full system reset. Go to the System tab and press the Reset button. This will restore the unit to its factory defaults. And if you need any extra assistance, please use our support team. They are more than happy to help you with any issues or help that you may need.